you know the elements because I've already said, but certainly a Second Amendment, and Second Amendment having to do with the state of Virginia. What they've done in Virginia is just incredible. Okay, please.
Sir, are you concerned, though, that people coming out in protest are going to spread COVID to other people? They're congregating in ways that health experts have said they should not.
No, these are people expressing their views. I see where they are, and I see the way they're working. They seem to be very responsible people to me. But it's, they've been treated a little bit rough. Please, Linda.
Thanks, Mr. President. I'm curious about some more of the dynamics we might see as the country begins reopening, as you put it, kind of like a puzzle. So as you've mentioned, we have states where we're already seeing their curves begin to flatten, but then there are others like Florida or more rural parts of the country where they aren't projected to peak for weeks or even months. So can you talk a little bit about some of the difficulties that those later peaking states might face if they need to stay locked down for longer, even as other places around them are starting to open back up?
Well, we're seeing great numbers in almost every state. We're seeing big drops. We're really seeing, in terms of beds, the numbers we have to look at are the beds being occupied, people going, which is essentially people going in. That means that you have fewer people that are sick, fewer people that feel they have to go to a hospital, and those numbers are dropping really precipitously. So I think that we're just seeing a lot of good signs. Now, a place like New York, New Jersey, and certain parts of Louisiana. Louisiana's been incredible lately when you look at that drop. That drop has really been great. Michigan's had a hard time, but it's starting to do well. So I just think Illinois is another one. You look at some of the numbers, but everyone is dropping, and they're dropping rather quickly. We don't have any hotspot that's developed where all of a sudden you say, well, other than we did have a meatpacking plant or two where incredibly we had some, you saw the number was rather incredible. It took place in that plant. People could ask about that. I wonder who owned that company. It was a weird situation, but generally speaking, it's been very good. The numbers have been really improving greatly. Please, Linda.
Thank you, Mr. President. U.S. intelligence is saying this week that the coronavirus likely came from a level 4 lab in Wuhan. There's also another report that the NIH, under the Obama administration in 2015, gave that lab $3.7 million in a grant. Why would the U.S. give a grant like that to China?
The Obama administration gave them a grant of $3.7 million. I've been hearing about that. And we've instructed that if any grants are going to that area, we're looking at it literally about an hour ago and also early in the morning. We will end that grant very quickly, but it was granted quite a while ago. They were granted a substantial amount of money. We're going to look at it and take a look, but I understand it was a number of years ago.
So you are.
When did you hear was the grant was made?
2015.
2015. Who was president then? I wonder. Okay. Yes, ma'am.
And Mr. President, we know negotiations are underway for the next round of funding for small businesses.
Yeah.
If tens of billions of dollars went in a matter of days the first time, will this next relief package be enough?
Well, I think it will certainly, it's going to get us to a point that's going to be rather beautiful. We think that will be the point, and it could be they want more, but maybe at a certain point we're going to stop. It's been a tremendous success. It's been executed flawlessly. SBA's done a very good job, but the banks have done a great job, whether it was Bank of America or Wells Fargo. The community banks have been incredible. I think we had over 4,000 community banks. A lot of people didn't know you had that many banks. But 4,000 community banks, they gave the money out. It's so organized, and it's been such a great program. And so essentially we're waiting for $250 billion. The Democrats are refusing to do it. This is money that essentially is going to the workers. It's going to keep these companies whole, restaurants and a lot of great companies. And it's a small amount of money relative to what it represents, because it represents small businesses, it represents them staying in business. And when you look at it, people don't know, small businesses represent approximately 50% of the power of our business enterprises. It's not all the big monster businesses that you read about every day. It's all of these small businesses when added. It's something that should be approved by the Democrats. The Republicans want it badly. and the people want it very badly.
If I could just follow up on that, nearly 10% of the loans that were given out were for $5 million, but some small business owners say they can't even get a loan for $100,000. Is that acceptable?
Well, they would get that, but they have to approve it. Nobody knew it was going to be this successful. Don't forget, when you say the money's gone, it's been a tremendous success as a program. People they really want it. And some people won't be able to keep their business open unless they get that money. It's been a tremendous success. It's been executed flawlessly. It's been, with few exceptions, it's really been good. And I think the Democrats are going to do it. Look, Nancy Pelosi, she's away on vacation or something, and she should come back. She should come back and get this done. I don't know why she's not coming back. The fact is, she's not doing her job, and there's nothing unusual about that for her.
And Legal Authority said they're now considering also adding more funding for hospitals included
So
in
they
this.
are thinking about hospitals, and hospitals are a good thing. Hospitals have been decimated by this. They've given up their business, which is good because they did the right thing in order to take care of the COVID-19. And no, hospitals, I'm with that all the way. If they want to add hospitals, we could also add it into phase 4. If we do a phase 4 would be hopefully infrastructure. A lot of people are talking about the best thing we could do for this country would be the payroll tax cut that I've been suggesting. A lot of Democrats like it, believe it or not, the payroll tax cut. And Art Laffer, who's tremendous, in fact, he recently got the Presidential Medal of Freedom, economist. He was with Ronald Reagan, and he looks like he's 25 years old, but I think he might be a little bit older than that. He looks so great. But Art Laffer said the single best thing you can do is the payroll tax cut. And I would just about agree with that, and I'd like to see that. I'm not sure that we're going to get that, but I think that's something that could be done. It's simple, it's really good for both the company that employs these people and for the people that are employed. So we're going to see whether that happens or not. The payroll, I put it out there, the payroll tax cut would be a tremendous incentive for this country. Steve?
China now says its coronavirus death toll in Wuhan is 50% higher,
Yep.
up to about 4,000. Does that sound like a credible number to you?
Well, when I listen to the press every night saying we don't have the most in the world deaths. The most in the world has to be China. It's a massive country. It's gone through a tremendous problem with this, and they must have the most. So today I saw they announced that essentially they're doubling up on the numbers, and that's only in Wuhan. They're not talking about outside of Wuhan. So it is what it is, Steve. It is what it is. What a sad state of affairs.
Investigation into whether the virus escaped from this lab in Wuhan, how active is that, and when do you expect
We're
to hear?
looking at it. A lot of people are looking at it. It seems to make sense. They talk about a certain kind of bat, but that bat wasn't in that area. If you can believe this, that's what they're down to now is bats. But that bat is not in that area. That bat wasn't sold at that wet zone. It wasn't sold there. That bat is 40 miles away. So a lot of strange things are happening, but there is a lot of investigation going on, and we're going to find out. All I can say is wherever it came from China, in whatever form. 184 countries now are suffering because of it. And it's too bad, isn't it? And it could have been solved very easily. When it was just starting, it could have been solved really very easily. Yeah, please, Vivek.
Thank you, sir. So about the 80 million payments that have gone out,
Yeah.
you said that less than 1% have had snafus, but that could be 800,000 snafus. So we've also seen
Well, I'm
reports
just saying, it's less than 1%, and the snafus are very minor. And they're-
you're not
and they were
talking about
fixed. No,
massive
excuse me.
numbers of dead people who've received.
No, they were 80 million payments went out over a period of a few days. And they caught certain mistakes that they made, but this is a tiny amount of mistakes. I can tell you mistakes were made in government where wrong countries were signed, okay? 80 million, this has been a tremendous success. And any mistake that was made, they've been caught. And it's less than 1%. That's a very good percentage. I can tell you for government. I mean, how about the Obama website, the Obamacare website, where they spent $5 billion on building a website that you could have built for peanuts? Okay.
If money went out to deceased people, is the government going to get that back?
Yeah, anything that was sent out, it's like sometimes you send a check to somebody wrong. Sometimes people are listed, they die, and they get a check. That can happen. You're talking about, I guess the number is about 80 million people. Yeah, sure, we'll get that back. Everything we're gonna get back. But it's a tiny amount. They've done a fantastic job. This was done in a matter of a few days. Yeah,
Your campaign said today that they are planning on resuming rallies before the election. Is there a timeline that you're looking at? Would it be restricted to certain states? Have you thought about how that would work?
well, I hope we can do rallies. It's great for the country. It's great spirit. It's great for a lot of things. To me, it's a tremendous way of getting the word out. If you look at our success rate, we've had tremendous success. We win where we have rallies, including endorsements of candidates. Our success rate is, I think, unparalleled. There's nothing like it. So I certainly hope